G'day everybody, welcome to the Sydney Property Muppets podcast. My name is Kurt Lawther, I'm a real estate agent and I am joined with me always...
Chris Clark, the buyer's agent.
The buyer's agent, the handsome looking buyer's agent.
Geez. Flattery will get you everywhere. This is what agents do, see, they just like to butter you up, make you feel good, make you feel pretty.
It's all about buttering you up,
all
Chris.
about it, and I appreciate that, Kurt.
So talk about buttering up. No, so something I wanted to broach with you today, Chris, is as a selling agent, my job legally is to work for the vendor. However, I genuinely like helping everyone, and I do like to help buyers out as well.
I've seen it before.
Oh, thank you very much. And the unfortunate thing is, I do have a couple of hot buyers that I work with that I put in a little bit of extra effort, whether it's got generally because I've got great rapport and I'm trying to help them out, but I'm still trying to help out all the buyers that I possibly can. However, unfortunately, there's only so many hours in the day that I can do, and often I notice, just some mistakes a lot of buyers do make. And as much as I'd love to help them, I either don't have the rapport or they're not ready to listen. So sort of throwing it to you,
please,
in terms of, I guess, helping buyers or...
There's that part when buyers are looking, as you're saying, sometimes you can help them, you're a genuine person, you do like to help, but they might be looking in the area, but they also might be looking all over Sydney, right? They've got a pretty open area where they're looking. So one of the fun or most interesting facts I find is, statistically, it takes buyers 9 months from when they said they're going to buy to put an offer in on just their first property.
That's not to just buy though?
No, that's not to buy the property, that's the first offer, and actually quite often that offer is not accepted.
Okay, I was going to say, because a few weeks ago I met this lovely couple, Alison and Ben, and through discussion in our private inspection, I'd found out that they had been looking for a while and had missed out on almost 4 auctions.
Yeah, wow.
So that's not also including the offers they may have put in. 4 auctions, which then I gave them some tips and suggested a couple of buyer's agents that they may want to look into to try and get them the upper hand.
Look, I hear stories like that, and I hear about them often. People going to 4 auctions or multiple, or putting offers in and not getting it right. Like, I just feel bad for them, and I've done it myself. The energy, the emotional drain, the engagement. If it's your own property, you've sort of thought about where you're going to live and where the kids are going to be, or the configuration. So, look, I get it. It's a really, really tough situation to be in. Like I said, typically they've already looked for probably 9 months before they've had that first offer out, and then they've been burnt a few more times.
And they're hoped from, I guess, where they've started going in with their glasses all nice and rosy.
Correct, rose-tinted glasses. So one of the things I talk about, defining your brief, whether you use a buyer's agent or on your own, there are really, in essence, 3 key pillars, right? There is the location, whether it's suburb, could be as niche as a street, but it's a location where you want to be. There's the property itself, so is it a house, freestanding, is it a semi, is it an apartment? Typically, it's one of those 3 things. And then the price. How much money can you spend? You talk to your mortgage broker, you get approved, those sort of things limit you. What I would say, look, we're buying in Sydney, it's one of the most expensive places to buy property in the world. Typically, from when people start to the end, one of those 3 things changes. They have to give. Whether that's the price, they end up finding more money, maybe they've made some an income change over the time, some bonuses come through, so they're able to increase their price. If they're not able to increase their price and their mortgage and their pre-approval, if they need that, or if they're cash themselves, then they either need to look at changing the location. So they look at other suburbs, other areas, the neighbouring suburb, 2 suburbs over, or where they're looking at a freestanding house and they can actually get into a semi. Where they're looking at a semi and they're up for an apartment with a courtyard. Typically, one of those 3 things has to change.
How often is maybe location? Because usually price may not be able to change in terms of they can go up a limit, but I guess in terms of location, is that one to change a bit or alter?
It comes back to the person's desire. So there'll be certain people out there that they're only looking in that location. They've always been there, always lived there. I would say majority of people buying in city probably, again, it comes back to that realistic. After 9 months of looking, or whatever it's going to be, location is one of those things that could potentially change. And We recently purchased a property with a client, Ryan and Gemma. We met with them, went through a full brief of where they wanted to be. They're living in St Leonard's in a rental property. And so they ideally wanted to buy anywhere from there up to sort of DY on the lower North Shore, the northern beaches way. Through our process of discovery, we introduced a location such as Lane Cove. They'd never considered it. In their mind, they actually felt like it was quite west. Little did they know it was literally like a 5-minute drive away from where they were currently living. We ended up finding something over a period of time. We found property for them. We purchased, we've exchanged. They're moving in January. And through that process, they've also found that 3 of their close mates had purchased property in that area. Ryan and Gemma, good luck to them, or congratulations. They're expecting their first child in April, and so are their friends in the area. So now they're in an area that they're going to have a community, people they know. Whereas without having that robust discussion, I think it probably would have taken 9 months, and then they'd have a 5-month-old or something, and then have all those other things to consider from there in terms of moving.
Okay. Perfect.
So, yeah, one of the things I'd say if you're looking at buying a property, one of the best things to do is jump on realestate.com. There's a tab there for sold properties. Put in what you want. Have a look at the last 3 months, 6 months of sold properties. Property price might have moved up or down, but at least it's going to give you a realistic understanding of what you can achieve.
Well, I was going to say, just nice and quickly on top of that as well, and I say this for everything in property, it's very rare, whether you're selling a property, you're buying a property, that things are going to go perfectly. Things are going to go, generally things aren't going to go as planned.
Yeah,
and
no
I think
surprises.
Probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from a buying point of view, if you go in there, think you're starting your journey, think that you're already looking 5 or also 10 months in and things aren't perfect. So try and put yourself, I think, in the mindset that, I'm not saying you need to go out and buy a slum, but potentially that already be in the mindset you're going to have to sacrifice something.
Yeah. And there's no doubt about buying a property is a stressful time. So if you're now spending 9 months or 18 months looking for it, that's 9 months or 18 months of stress. If you can be more realistic in your brief and potentially look to engage a buyer's agent, that 9 months to 18 months could be down to 2 months, 4 months, 6 months. You know, it's half the time, if not even less, of that stressful period of life. And then you can move on, move in, renovate, change things. Yeah. Anything else to add there?
Well, I was just going to say, if you do, generally I've started wanting people to actually, even just having a conversation with a buyer's agent, because often if you go with family or friends, they're not going to tell you what you need to hear. So I'm not saying you need to necessarily potentially go straight ahead and use a buyer's agent.
Yeah, but you should, definitely from my standpoint.
Yes, definitely 100% use Chris.
Appreciate the promotion. Appreciate that.
It's just like a buyer's agent has been in the game for whether it's 1 year and they're absolutely killing it, or 20 years and they're very experienced. They've seen the ins and outs. They're like a surgeon. They're going to be able to tell you exactly what's possible, what's not.
And look, my process of buyers, and sorry to cut you off, but my part of the very first step is a consultation. It's not part of the client's being engaged, it's what I call potential client. And I'll even then go through their brief and go, look, here's some free advice. One of these things should change. Whether they do it, that's another thing, but it's something I'm happy to sit down and discuss with people, because in the end, I purchased property poorly when I was 20 years younger. And I wish I had a buyer's agent there to help me. So there's 3 little things I can help out people. I'm sure most buyer's agents are happy to give that little bit of advice early on. Even if it means you don't work with them, just leave a positive taste and helps the buyer out from there. Let's close the chapter on that topic then for today. Any questions, do let us know. Feel free to pop in the comments. But on to our 3 quick questions.
Yeah, if you're new to the how does the 3 quick questions work, Chris? Because we had a little... breach of the laws last week, if we can call them that.
Well, appreciate you keeping me accountable. Look, on Sydney Property Muppets, very simple. 3 quick questions. Basically, we each get to ask a question of each other. We take turns of it. The other person provides an answer, and there's no defending. It's really trying to provide a really short, simple answer. But it's not there for you to say, oh, these are the reasons why. Now, who should start this week? Do you want to kick us off?
I was just going to quickly jump in there as well. So the first question as well is generally related to the topic.
Yep.
We're still trying to keep this all fun. And then the second question is just general property. And the third one is whatever Chris and I feel like coming up.
We haven't prepared each other. So come on, Kurt, get on with it.
So the first one. What would you compromise on personally? Price, location, or the property? For your personal purchase?
Location.
Location?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably something a bit more malleable to me. Oh, no.
Oh,
I went it again.
oh.
My bad.
Hope you
Okay.
don't bring the cane back out here.
All right, Kurt. What is your number one tip for bidding at auctions?
Go hard or go home?
Nice. Good. Question 3. Go hard or go home. You can't defend.
No, it wasn't going to be a defend. It was bid hard.
Bid hard.
Bid hard. Sorry, it was.
Bid hard.
It was actually so you guys understood that. Not Kurt gibberish. Bid hard.
Good.
Question 3. If you're purchasing a property, autumn or spring?
Purging by autumn or spring. I'm probably purging and buying in autumn.
Okay.
Well, I think you more. Yeah, again, can't do that. I'm getting caught out this all the time now. All right, question 4. All right, Kurt, this is on you now. Who are better for you to have as people buying your property? First home buyers or people who are buying, effectively, sold their first home buying their second property? For you, who's better for you? Don't think about for them.
Second home purchases.
Nice. Okay, question 5 on you.
Would you rather go forward in time but not be able to come back to the present, or go back in time but you just move forward in time like normal?
I'll go back in time.
Go back in time?
Yeah. No, I like that. Last one, kick us on home. What is the holiday location in Australia that you'd love to go to that you've never been?
Byron Bay.
Never been to Byron Bay. Interesting. Well, maybe we have to do the podcast up there one week. Anyway, as we say, thank you all for your time. Our advice, as always, we are the Sydney Property Muppets. It is general in nature. Speak to the experts out there. Really appreciate everyone's time and listening.
You got any comments, any feedback, any questions? Leave it in the comments. Or send us an email or Facebook, Instagram, wherever we're on. Just
get on to us. All right, all the best out there. See you next week.
see you guys.